Happy Monday, crypto and Web3 fans. The market's flashing red as we got some bad mamma jamma news this week we gotta digest. Owning crypto is like smoking? What? XRP price talk is the bigs are buying more?
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Happy Monday? Yes. Happy prices on the screen? No, but we're gonna talk about it because the bigs are still buying. But before we get into crypto news, you the viewer matter most. That's where I share your comments. Hutquav says, thank you. Well, you're welcome. And thank you for the support of the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Tyler Yetzer says, you know what I like about you? You still look at the little donations and talk about them. It's not about the size, it's about the love. Totally agree. Whether you support the channel with a thumbs up, a like, I think that's the same thing, a comment, a super chat. Seriously, always sharing comments from the viewers first because you, the viewer, are why I do this. Jay's browser account says, Hodgkinson is the human fork from Ethereum and Ethereum 1. Hodgkinson is the part that slipped out of the boot crack. No, I was gonna go with the naughty joke, but I won't do it. I'll be nice because Charles is a fucking retard to begin with. Bitcoin sitting at under 90,000, 89,960. We're gonna talk about what's flashing the market red. Yeah, some of you knew about it if you've been watching the videos, but if you're a new viewer, you're gonna learn why, and you would have been prepared for this. ETH under 3,000 at 29.64. XRP though still holding pretty strong above our 220 crucial market, 235. We'll talk price at the end. XLM under 40 cents. Doge at 31.4. ADA couldn't hold the dollar back to 88 cents. Well, Sol's at what, everyone? 171. What are we seeing more of? The same shit. BTC goes down 5%, the rest of the alts go down 10. Yeah, this isn't fun. Reminds me of 2024 pre-election action. JP Morgan's Dimon attacks Bitcoin and compares it to smoking. Smoking the Chiba? Because if that's the case, then cool. That's not what he's talking about, though. The CEO of JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, has attacked BTC again because he's a fucking loser, asserting that it has no inherent value and is frequently exploited by bad actors. Now, hold on. US dollar is exploited by bad actors all the time, right? Just throwing it out there. The US dollar is losing its strength because it's being devalued by what? Inflation and massive printing of dinero. So is the dollar a piece of poopy too? Well, I mean, yeah, it's a piece of poop too, but come on, Jamie Dimon. He also said that Bitcoin is like smoking and that people may have the right to do it, but it doesn't make it a good idea. Dude, for real, Jamie Dimon is just upset that the crypto markets are stealing thunder and money, because remember, it's all about the money from traditional markets. And JP Morgan, being one of those traditional finance players out there, sees the threat that crypto has. To compare it to smoking, can you get paid for smoking? No, I didn't think so. I mean, like, unless you have a lawsuit, but then your lungs are fucking roasted, right? But to compare BTC to smoking is some of the dumbest shit that I've heard. And Dimon, I cannot wait until I share with you when Dimon's like, you know, I'm actually a crypto fan, because I'm just going to rub his face in the mud. On January 12th, Dimon gave an interview with CBS News in which he said we're going to have some kind of virtual currency at some point. I'm not against crypto, you know. Bitcoin itself has no inherent value. Then why are so many people using it as a store of value? Why are governments out there thinking, you know what, we should own BTC because, you know, our fiat's really starting to become devalued and we're printing a lot of money and we've got a lot of debt and we need a way to hedge this debt. Jamie Dimon, you seriously, sir, are a scumbag, and all you're about is traditional finance. All you're about is making you money. Ugh, and remember, my job's to share with you the good or bad, happy or sad in the crypto world. Well, I got some good for you. Toronto, January 13th. Hey, that's today, everyone. This is breaking news. That's why you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out. January 13th, Matador Technologies has announced that it has completed the acquisition of some BTC, worth around $4.5 million in cash. The BTC was acquired at an average price of $96,000, which means what? They're in the red. But these companies don't care. They're like, yo, we're going to keep buying BTC to hedge against the problems we're having with fiat. Canadian fans viewing right now, how weak is your Canadian dollar to the US dollar over the last several years? Not good, is it? For my European fans and fans from across the pond, how much have you seen your buying power eroded? A lot. So using BTC and crypto to hedge doesn't sound like such a bad idea. Jamie Dimon, dumbass. The purchase is part of Matador's long-term strategy to adopt BTC as a foundational asset for its treasury and for the platform for its upcoming digital gold product. Fucking cool, man. Bitcoin qualities as a decentralized, secure, and widely recognized digital asset. It aligns perfectly with our vision of creating a trustworthy gold-backed digital product. Yeah, except if you're Jamie Dimon. Now hold up. You know how I brought the Jamie Dimon negative news and I brought the Matador Technologies positive news? Well, I've got more positive news. MicroStrategy adds 2,500 more BTC, making its holdings reach 450,000 BTC total. MicroStrategy bought 2,500 BTC for $243 million at an average price of what, everyone? $95,900, which means what? They're in the red. See these bigs out here? Don't give a shit about these little market fluctuations. They're just buying and buying because they know and think that the price is going to be much, much higher in the future. So they're like, cool, I'll take a 5% loss if it means I'm going to be up 100% here in the next several months to a year. Yeah, that's what these players are thinking. The purchase marks MicroStrategy's 10th consecutive week of buying Bitcoin since October 31st when it announced its 21-21 plan. The Virginia-based company funded the purchase through a sale of a shit ton of shares. Basically, they're just selling shares in debt for BTC. The company reported its Bitcoin yield, which measures the gross of BTC holdings relative to its outstanding shares, was 0.32% during January. They are the largest corporate BTC holder, and they own BTC valued at $40.8 billion. Their average, 62,691 per BTC, and they spent $28 billion doing it. So guess what? They're well in the green. So that's why these players are going to keep doing it, because they're looking at BTC, they're looking at fiat, they're looking at Jamie Dimon and saying, well, this dude's a complete fucktard, so we're not going to deal with him. But they're looking at all this economic news and they're like, dude, inflation, fiat, debt, we got to hedge against this. All right. So why is the market red? And you guys know I love my redheads. I don't love red markets, but I love redheads. Oh, I love me some juicy redhead action. Well, this is why. December CPI release could deepen the sell-off in the S&P 500. So even the stock markets right now are like, yo, girlfriend, we need to pay attention to this because CPI might be pretty hot. And CPI has been hot the last couple of reports. So if you had hot on already hot, that means you're going to have really hot. And I'm not talking about redhead big jumbly hot. No, I'm talking about market blah hot. Yeah, that's not the good hot. The U.S. Bureau of Labor is set to release the December CPI inflation on January 15th. That's Wednesday. We're going to have a live stream regarding it. Join us, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Core CPI inflation will increase 0.2% month over month, which is below the increase in November, but it's still increasing, and that's a problem. Annual core is expected to stay at 3.3. That's not good either. The headline CPI will increase 0.3% month over month, and this is what we all pay attention to, at the same rate as in November, which would push the annual CPI inflation to 2.8 from 2.7 in November. So it came in at 2.7 in November. We get a 2.8. That's not good. What does it mean? It means that Jerome Powell and the Fed and other central banks across the globe, this is not just a U.S. thing, this is a global thing, will be what, everyone? Keeping rates higher for longer. That's not good for us. Next CPI report could reduce the 2025 Fed cut expectations. All right, so we've already reduced the expectations from 4 cut-a-ronies this year to 2. But if CPI goes higher, and we're not talking about tasty bong rips, we're talking about CPI data, inflation stuff. That's not good when that gets high. See, there's some misunderstandings here because JP Morgan has it wrong and so do some of the CPI players. But anyways, CPI data comes in high, pauses for longer, and then if the Fed even goes one step further and says, hey, remember when we said 4 cuts and we took it down to 2 and the market pooped itself? Well, we might take it from 2 cuts in 2025 and flip it to 1 in 2025. That could really bring some red into the market. So, gonna listen to CPI data, and we're gonna watch Jerome Powell at the end of the month. Big info with that. We need CPI data inflation to come back down. Now, does that mean it can crush the rally completely? No. I think we got a lot more positive than we do negative, but you don't want this because you can already see the effect it's having on the market. ETH down 7%, Sol down 7%, ADA down 8%, Avalanche down 8%, ICP down 8%. I mean, the whole fucking market is down, right? Okay, let's talk now about overall market, and then we're going to get into what? XRP pros action. Okay, showed it to you earlier. BTC down 3.7%. ETH 7, Solana 7. You see what I'm saying? BTC goes down a little. The rest of the market goes down a lot. Fear and greed, we're at 47 neutral. Kind of low. We haven't seen these kind of numbers for a while. Altcoin season, no, it's Bitcoin dominant season. This is what happened before the election positivity. We had a whole bunch of news that would move Bitcoin a little one direction, but the alts would move badly down. The news that would move Bitcoin up 5% would move the alts up 1%. We don't like this. This is the bad time. We want this to swing over here more into the altcoin dominance where the alts do their own thing. Now, speaking of alts doing their own thing, XRP's volume, 8.43%. And at the time of recording, we're seeing a little bit of pumperoni on the candlestick. So let's zoom in. See, people, this is why you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on this right here. Look at this candlestick happening while Big Daddy's reporting. Took us from 232 to what everyone 246. That's a big candlestick right there. Now, are we able to hold it so far? No, but the move just started. So come on now, everyone. But we've seen XRP's been pushing on up. Are there opportunities to get to that $2 mark? Well, it's been a while, right? It's been a couple of weeks. So no, we haven't been able to get to that $2 mark. That's been since way back here. So the New Year's rally is still alive and well. We're still above 220, which is the juicy zone for XRP. We're right now at 243. The weekend was really juicy. Bigs out there and smalls, because Matadors is small, are buying BTC, expecting it to go up. CPI data is going to be hot, which is bad for crypto, putting more pressure on the screen, making it redder than red. What's redder than a redhead? I don't know. Maybe a redhead out in the sun chilling? I don't fucking know, everyone. But for real, we're keeping an eye on the CPI data, but players are still sticking to their plan. Their plan is buy the dips, buy the tips, just buy, because when we are looking back from a year from now, we're going to be like, yo, these prices are low. I wish I would have bought more. And that's what you're seeing from players like Matador and MicroStrategy. But I want to hear from you. Are you buying XRP the same way that MicroStrategy and Matador is buying BTC? Do you care if it's dips or tips? Do you care if it's you're buying on red days or green days? Or are you just trying to stack as much as possible? Or are you waiting to be greedy and get back into that sub $2 XRP? Which we haven't seen yet in 2025. All right, so here's the deal. If CPI inflation data keeps staying hot, which is bad, it's going to definitely put more pressure on the markets. And you're sitting here asking yourself, but Klaus, won't the positive news of like this pro-crypto admin coming in outweigh all that? Well, yeah, but we got to get to that point first. And that's where you're going to see like these buying opportunities happen in the middle of what I believe is going to be an extended bull run. That's why MicroStrategy, Riot, Marathon Digital, all those other players out there are buying BTC no matter what the price is. Because they're like, look, we know there's going to be some oscillations, but over time, we think it's just going to keep doing this, this, and this. They're taking the long-term approach. They're taking the stack and hodl approach, which is what a lot of you watching do. And that's why I asked, what's your approach with XRP? Now that we're not in the 50-cent range price anymore and haven't been for the last couple months, thank God, what are you doing with it? And what are you thinking about CPI data? Because if it keeps coming in hot like this, it's not going to kill the bull run that we're in. It's just going to mute it a little bit. Now, granted, I think we all wish inflation numbers would be better because that would be better for us because food is still expensive AF, eggs are expensive, meat's still expensive, all that kind of stuff. Cereal's still expensive. I wanted to buy some Lucky Charms, and I'm like, yo, girlfriend, that's a lot for Lucky Charms. Fuck, I'm buying it anyways. And I put it in the cart because I like Lucky Charms. Now, granted, I can't drink it with regular milk because I am lactose intolerant, so I do a little bit of almond milk in there. Yeah, that's how life goes. But the deal is that CPI data is going to affect us around these report times, right? You're going to see sell-offs going into the reports. You might even see some sell-offs going into the Fed's meeting because what if Jerome Powell goes, yo, girlfriend, remember 4 cuts? We took him to 2 cuts. Now we're going to take it to 1 cut. Yeah, that wouldn't be good at all. If Jerome says something like that at the end of this month, yo, big time sell-off. Now, will the sell-off remain? No, because we're going to have other green events that are going to be helping us out. But we got to chew through some of the poop and take a bite out of the poop sandwiches, which, by the way, inflation is not affecting the price of, because poop sandwiches somehow are inflation resistant. So, what's the plan? Well, it depends. Are you going to be a short-term player or a long-term player? The long-term players, as I've been sharing with you, are like, yo, we're just going to buy no matter what. We're going to zoom out. We're going to hodl. Hell, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, we might finally look and sell some of our stuff because it's going to be worth a ton. But you have to do what's best for you. That's why my job is to bring you the news, whether it's good or bad, happy or sad, every day of the week so that you can make the best choice. Because some of you out there are into long-term fun. Some of you out there are into short-term fun. Some of you out there are into fun with multiple ladies. And my advice to you would be, gym a hat. I know. You're like, bro, that has nothing to do with crypto. But if you have a little bit of funk down there, that can affect the rest of your life and how you approach crypto, right? Agreed. That was a PSA from Klaus. Jimmy hat if you're hooking up with multiple feminitas and dudes. Now, CPI data is coming out in 2 days. We're going to have a live stream regarding that. I would suggest you join us or watch it afterwards. Like if you can't watch it live because maybe you got work and you're like a responsible person, you got to like take your kids to school. You can either not take your kids to school, or once the live stream is over, I put it in the live stream folder. Then you could go and you could watch that video at any time at your convenience. Chat's going to be lit AF. I'm going to start the stream probably a little earlier than 8:30. You know how I do it. We're going to talk about the effect on the market. We're going to talk about things going forward, and then what? Well, it's choo-choo bitches then.